Mario Kart World has been released for around about 3 weeks now, and since everybody else has been talking about all the things they're still missing in it, I decided to follow suit. The Switch 2 has undoubtedly been one of the most successful launches in history, which is not only because of the great launch titles like Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. All jokes aside, this is the biggest Mario Kart that has ever been released, and I enjoyed every single second I spent playing, but there are a few things they literally added to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe via Booster Course Pass less than 2 years ago, and somehow they wound up missing. For example, where's the music player? Mario Kart World has the most songs in franchise history, and yet they refuse to let you listen to them, since again, the music player in-game is non-existent, and the OST isn't even on the Nintendo Music app. Although, even if it was, that wouldn't suffice. I purchased the game, and therefore strongly believe that I should have the ability to listen to the OST without purchasing a ridiculously priced online service, if you can even call that abomination a service. Which leads me to my next point. Where are the goddamn servers? Before somebody points that out to me, I am aware of the fact that once a game has been planned and coded for a certain communication structure, you can easily change it. Meaning Mario Kart World probably isn't gonna get servers. It would be a huge effort to change the entire structure, and I'm certain that Nintendo, although I wish it wasn't that way, has better plans for their resources. This is more a point in general, but the entire marketing for the Switch 2 has been heavily focused on multiplayer. Heck, they even decided an entire button to a Discord clone, which you also have to pay for in a year. Yeah. How can you pretend to focus on multiplayer and still go ahead with peer-to-peer online in one of your biggest games on said console? This is especially frustrating since we now have double the player count, meaning double the potential for things to go wrong. And while we're at the topic of multiplayer, why can't I spectate games anymore? If you didn't know or forgot, back in the good old days, aka like 3 weeks ago, the latest Mario Kart included a feature where you could join a match, and if you had to wait for a concurrent race to finish, you could watch the players until they were finished. Now, if you join a match, you can't anymore. Instead, you're just driving around the map freely until the match starts. This isn't bad per se, but I would still prefer watching the others race, because sometimes you do have to wait quite a bit. This wouldn't even be that big of an effort to add, since they already have a spectator mode in the game. If you die in Knockout Tour or Balloon Battle, you start spectating. Now that's great, they can just copy that into normal races and everybody would be happy. No, I would still complain, since this iteration of the spectator mode is heavily restricted. You can only watch first place. You can't choose anymore who you want to watch. And this is why. Why restrict players in such an arbitrary way? If my friend was in this lobby, perhaps I would want to watch my friend play and not always the first place. And sometimes in rallies, first place is literally a bot. I do not want to watch a bot playing a rally. I might as well go offline at that point. Speaking of arbitrary restrictions, custom rallies. First of all, why can't we choose the rally we want to drive online? If you join a rally online, there's no select screen where you could choose a rally. Not even like 3. You just get random rallies. And secondly, this is a bit more confusing for me, why did you go through all the effort to create all these intermissions, some of which are really good, when most of them are never really driven on in Grand Prix or knockout tours? I mean, of course, if we had custom tours and could therefore choose from where to where we would want to drive, then it would make sense again. But like this? And there's a whole bunch more questions of that nature. Why are there only 2 battle modes when you already had more in the predecessor? I reckon it wouldn't be that hard to code in something like Bob-omb Blast, Shine Thief or Renegade Roundup. This comes down to a larger problem that I see with this game. It is that it's good, it's working, it's more or less bug free, but yet it still feels unfinished. It feels like they deliberately removed some parts of the game so that they can later re-add them via an update to make you feel like they're actively supporting this game. Now that might be a bit too much of a conspiracy theory, but I mean, look at Mario Strikers on the Switch. Yeah, like the updates we got on there, that could have and should have been launch content. With all that being said, I still do very much enjoy this game, obviously. But I still can't wrap my head around the fact that these obvious things are still missing. And I'm convinced we'll get updates. We'll get updates, a lot of them. We'll get really new content, and probably, most definitely, some of the things I just listed here. But again, I just feel like it should be in the game from the start. But then again, what do I know? If you excuse me, I have to play a manual that I just paid $10 for.